Hi and welcome to the eCave. In this episode, which is a follow-on from the previous one on your electricity bill and price shocks, I'll be covering off how you can find a better plan for your electricity price. If you're interested in that, by all means, join me. Well, thanks for staying. In this episode, I will cover off and show you how to use the Energy Made Easy website, whereby you can actually use your own electricity usage data to find a better priced plan for your electricity usage. Now, I know there are a number of commercial websites offering electricity price comparison, but the problem with those is, firstly, they do not cover off all electricity providers or retailers. They don't include all the plans the retailers provide, and they also get a commission if you launch from their website to a retailer to sign up with an account. The federal government has released or had up and running for quite a while now a website called Energy Made Easy, and they've forced all the retailers to provide most of their plans that are relevant to domestic households and small businesses, and they've made them provide those plans in a standardized manner, which allows the website to actually compare energy prices. The fact that if you have a power bill with an NMI number, which I'll talk about a bit later, means you can actually use your own electricity usage. So without further ado, let's go to the website and have a look at it. But note, I've blanked out my suburb and postcode for privacy reasons. I don't want angry retailers knocking on my door. So let's get started. Here we have the Australian government's Energy Made Easy electricity retailer price comparison website. It's on this website where you can enter some details, and the website will calculate the lowest priced energy plan based on your location and electricity usage. The website does that by using the metering data held by the Australian Energy Market Operator. From now on, I'll call them EMO. They are the ones I mentioned in the first episode and told you that all the household electricity usage data ends up in their database, and the retailers are only given access to the metering data if you are their customer. This website works for consumers located in New South Wales, Queensland, Southern Australia, Tasmania and the ACT. It's totally free and there are no commissions being paid to anyone. Consumers in Victoria have to use a different state government provided website in order to do their price comparison. However, it operates in an identical way to this one, as their metering data is also held in the EMO database. So if you're from Victoria, I'll put a link to your price comparison website down below. The only states which are not included here are the Northern Territory and Western Australia. In these states, consumers can't or have very limited options to choose their retailers. This is mainly because the states set the unit price for domestic consumers, so they only have one rate. Now, to do this price comparison, you need your postcode and the National Metering Identification Number, or what I'll call the NMI from now on. This is the unique number which identifies your household electricity meter. It should be on all your power bills. it's also a good idea to have your latest bill at hand just in case. So let's get started. The first box you fill out is to enter your postcode. You need the postcode because there are numerous transmission network providers in Australia, and they need to know which network transmission provider your household is located in. For instance, in New South Wales, there are at least 3 network providers. So I'll put in my postcode. So I'll put in my suburb. I'll use the suburb name instead of the postcode. Sorry, I'll blank it out for privacy reasons. Now, then you just hit start comparing. The next thing is choosing whether you want electricity or gas. You can do price comparison for one or the other. Now, for my area, there is no gas, so that's simple. We choose electricity. Then you have to choose whether you're a home or a small business. In my case, that's planned for my home. And then, why am I comparing electricity plans? Well, I'm not moving to a new home. I'm staying home, but I want a better plan. If you do choose moving to a new home, because that might be your situation, they will just use average estimates for the simple reason you won't have the NMI number. But we do have the NMI number, so let's pick that. Now, they require that you have lived in your home for 12 months or more. The simple reason is they need to have access to about 12 months worth of electricity usage data for your home. If you've lived in the home less than that, you won't cover the whole year. This is because they base their calculation on your actual usage. Once again, if you say no, they will use some average data, but we'll pick yes. Now here comes an important thing. You have to pick your electricity company, i.e. who is your current provider. And as you see here, there's lots of them. In fact, I think there are about 22. Now, I'm currently with Red Energy, so I'll pick them. The reason behind this is the fact that each retailer has multiple plans, which means some of these plans can number in the hundreds. For instance, I'll show you Red Energy plans. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get a 5th, 6, 7, 8. So they have 8 plans, and that's just one of the 22 providers. They also use this as a security measure. So you can't go around the neighborhood writing down your neighbor's NMI number and then try to look at how much usage they have. You have to match the NMI number with the current retailer. Now, finally we get to enter the NMI number, and mine is, and for privacy reason, I will obviously not show you my NMI number, but you will see my usage. There we have it. Next. Then we have the typical disclaimer. They are sending your NMI number to email, and they will send back your electricity usage and the information about the type of electricity meter you have. And as I mentioned before, if the existing retailer doesn't match, they will also split the dummy. So let's agree and continue. It is now retrieving your electricity usage data from the email database. There we have it. And then you have to tick this box, which basically says, don't believe anything we say because we can't guarantee any information or warrant any information. It's the usual caveats. And now we get a list of all the energy plans. Now this is a busy screen, so what I'll do, I'll go through it. But we start at the top. The first and most interesting part is your electricity use. That's the box up here on the left. So basically they're saying that my daily average is 5.93 kilowatt hours in the last month, including controlled load usage, which is the off-peak electricity. Now, I have solar and battery, and that's why this number is very low. But this is an important number to look at. The next box is simply telling you we have a controlled load, i.e. the off-peak hot water electricity. And the reason I highlight that here is because they will now filter out all plans that do not also include a control load rate. Next we have a box saying I have a smart meter, which is true. It's basically highlighting the fact that if you have a smart meter, you may be able to use time of use plans. If this was an analog meter, I'm guessing the single rate plans would be defaulted rather than the time of use plans. And then the last box here at the top is just telling me how much electricity I'm exporting to the grid on average every day. And this box also means they filter out plans that do not offer the feed-in tariff or the credit. So down here you have the time of use plans. Now, I suspect they default that because of the smart meter. But I would suggest that unless you're an energy smart consumer that understands your usage profile, you would probably be better off not using this. I've never used the time of use plans for the simple reason that the difference between time of use plans for me and the single rate is minimal. Let me show you the time of use plans. The best plan here is $160 per quarter. If I go to single rate plans, you can see instead it's $170, which is assuming that my usage over the 3 periods of time of use, i.e. off-peak, shoulder and peak, falls into a certain pattern. You could accidentally leave some energy-hungry appliances during peak period to offset that $10. So I've always stuck to the single rate plans. Now, what I'm showing here are all the other filters. Basically, they're also showing filters which these drive, the controlled load and the solar panels. But there are other filters here you can use. Things like based on fees, exit fees, credit card fees, and so on. then you have contracts, whether it's a contract or a fixed term, whether you get discounts for paying direct debit or pay on time or other discounts. Plans with some conditions. Now, I don't know what plans have certain conditions, but anyway, some have some special offers, which could mean a discounted rate, like 5, 10, 15% discount, but that would normally only apply for a fixed contract term, and then the discount falls off. You can also change the cost from per quarter to monthly, or even annually as well, if you want to see your annual expenditure and compare with your bills. Now, when you look at a particular plan, so let's do that. Like Red Energy here has something called Living Energy Saver. You go there, it will detail your unit prices. It will also give you some of the fees involved, like move-in or new connection fees, metering cost, or a disconnection fee, things like that. If they have any special offers, and I guess that's just more info about the time periods the contract is valid from. Another interesting box here is this one here, prepared to switch. If you click on that, it gives you some preparation list before you go to the energy retailer to sign up for a plan. And the interesting thing here is they call it Living Energy Saver, and then there is this unique plan ID. I find it interesting because the bills just say Living Energy Saver tariff or plan, but this tells you the actual number. These numbers are unique for every different plans. But if you go back here to Red Energy, for instance, the Living Energy Saver is here, and they seem to have different versions of it, which I find interesting. Like if you go here, Living Energy Saver, show me the rates, and you want to select for my current home. Let's put in the postcode. Electricity. Here's the single rate, Living Energy Saver. If you go to time of use, guess what? There's another Living Energy Saver here as well, which is a bit confusing. But anyway, you can go back and you can then look at all the different plans and see what might be suitable for you. If you want to scrutinize the plan and make sure you're actually saving money, what I normally do, I take my last bill or last 2 or 3 bills. I usually get a monthly bill, but if you get a quarterly bill, I plug in all the unit prices from the bill and how much energy I've used, and make sure I'm calculating and getting the same outcome as the bill. And then I duplicate that line in Excel and I put these new unit prices in and see if that calculation gives me a lower price. That's just a bit of a sanity check for your bill. But I hope this is useful, and the one thing I can tell you is once you sign up with a new retailer, You don't have to talk to your old retailer. All of this happens in the background. And the main reason for that is because all the retailers have to go to email for your billing information or for the usage information so they can issue your bills. And because it's made available by email based on your choice, switching to another retailer is very simple and easy. Well, I hope you found that once again interesting. I also hope you can use the website to find a better plan. I've used it over and over again, and I managed to save a bit of money every time by switching to another retailer. Now I'll have the links for that website down below, so you can launch it from there. There's nothing involved with that. It's a free site, as I've mentioned. Now I'll leave you to it to save some money, and thanks for coming into the eCave.